We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday. It is 7 o'clock. We are live on the YouTube and on Facebook. But most importantly, we want you to follow us on the YouTube. Make sure you like, follow, comment, subscribe, everything on YouTube. And most importantly, make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. I got my notification. Hopefully you got your notification. There is a lot going on in the sports week, and we will divulge in it all, plus something new and exciting. I can't wait to get a hold of this episode. So please, if you join the feed, make sure you say something in the chat. You are a part of the show. You're a big part of the show. Make sure you say hello like Joe always says. And let's get it cracking, man. It's another episode of the Academy Sports Show, and it starts now. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, with your host, Joel Williams.
What up, though? As they say in the D. What up, everybody? Man, welcome to the show. Dr. Stu is in the building. What up, Stu? Anybody else joining in? You heard the man. Make sure you shout us out. Let us know you're here so we can shout you out and put your message up on the screen. Big show ahead tonight, man. A lot to talk about. You were going to talk NFL free agency. The NFL, the masterminds of the art of advertising, the art of getting your attention, the ability to stay relevant is the NFL. And they have found a way over the last, I'd say, 3 years since we've been doing the show for a good 7 years now, 7, 8 years, I think. And last 3 years, they've done a good job of somehow making their way into our psyche in the middle of March when the league year begins because of free agency. And now there's been shaking and moving and shaking every year. This year, it is the same thing. As Stu just pointed, how about them Browns? How about them? A lot of teams. We're going to talk about it. So some moves have been made. We're going to discuss. Also, we are here for the smoke. LSU versus South Carolina. Did you see it? We are watching women's basketball, and I'm telling you right now, coming up in the coming weeks, we might have to actually bring it into the sports talk world. If you haven't done it yet, you must.
Live women's bracketology,
women's, okay? But a lot to cover, man. We're going to talk about that game. A couple of really good games yesterday in women's basketball. College, particularly. So we're going to touch on that, believe it or not. And that's no disrespect at all. But we got to touch it a little bit, okay? I don't know what I'm not going to repeat that one, but Gamecocks versus Tigers. Good job, Stu. Thank you very much. Stu. We appreciate it. As always, coming through for us. But yes, that plus, as you know, we got trivia night. As you know, we got what to meme. So you know how we do. We're going to get it going. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you like always. Let us know you're in the building as we get popping live here on Academy Sports Show. Oh, look at this. We have a request for a guest host. Stu said he'll co-host on the women's show.
Oh, sir. If you weren't so controversial, I think I would do that.
No, look, he said he's on his good behavior today.
Yeah. I don't know if I believe that.
Oh, man.
All right, let's get to it. What's up, Mom? Thank you, Mother. It is trivia night. So as trivia night goes, as always, me or Joel ask each other a question. As the host, you, the field, have the opportunity to steal the points if you put the correct answer in the chat. The gist is, if you put the wrong answer in the chat, that is the answer for everybody. The first person to comment is everybody's answer. As me and Joel try to figure out a way to keep our lead growing against you, said. It's just something about it says we should put you on a tape delay, and I don't know how to do that. Yeah. All right. It is my turn to give Joel the question. and get my payback for that question last week. Are you ready, sir?
That was not how this is supposed to go. Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready?
I don't have a choice.
All right, here we go. Get to my page. All right. Joel, other than the COVID year, since 2000, I'm going to give you a large window. Since 2000, there has been 10 women's national champions, collegiate basketball teams. 10 different colleges have won. 5 since 2000.
10 different women's. Wait, since 2000?
Since 2000.
Oh, okay. Since 2000, you need 5.
No Twitter fingers, Chad.
Right. Give me all right. So you need 5. All right. So LSU, UConn, South Carolina. Ooh. LSU, so UConn, LSU, South Carolina. I know those are recent. Well, no, UConn hasn't been. It's been in a while, but they used to win a bunch of them.
All right, we got an answer already.
Give me. Oh wait, okay, wait. Skylar Dig. Notre Dame. Stanford.
All right, we already got an answer in the chat. Are you good with that? So you have LSU, UConn, South Carolina, Notre Dame, and Stanford.
Oh, same answer.
You want to change one? Do you think you got one wrong?
No. Actually, I don't want to change because I think if I change, I'll get one wrong.
Okay. All right. Stu came in a minute earlier. The UConn, South Carolina, Notre Dame, Stanford, LSU had the same in a different order. All right. Let's work.
See, this wasn't a payback question. I actually have paid attention to the women's brackets over the last.
I just wanted to make you sweat until I answered. And then Stu, women's basketball doctor of women's basketball here on his high horse. All right, so let's work backwards.
Okay.
2023, LSU. 2022, South Carolina. 2021, Stanford. 2020, no champion. 2019, Baylor. 2018, Notre Dame.
Okay. 2017,
South Carolina. 2016, 15, 14, 13, Connecticut.
UConn.
So y'all got it right.
Yeah.
Working back even further, 2012 Baylor, 11 A&M, 10, 9 Connecticut, 8, 7 Tennessee, 6 Maryland, 5 Baylor, 4, 3, 2 Connecticut, Notre Dame 1 in 2000 Connecticut.
Prior to that, Tennessee.
So 99 Purdue, 98, 97, 96 Tennessee, 95 Connecticut, 91 Tennessee, 89 Tennessee.
Yeah, it was like UConn, Tennessee. It was like Tennessee heavy. Then UConn finally started breaking in.
Yep. All right, well, you both got it correct. But you're a little too slow on the trigger. So the field gets the point, and they inch one victory closer and tying us on trivia night. Good job, Stu.
Just for official documentation, the score has been updated.
Score has been updated. All right. Next up, is what the meme. If you find a meme on any website or anything that you like, send it to us. We'll throw it up. Ask the question. Today we just got one. We already talked about it. The NC Women's Tournament will be more hyped than the men's. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Agree. I don't even know who is in the men's tournament as far as name recognition. I don't even – what player is a player in the NCAA men's tournament? I have no idea.
All I know is Bronny. That's about it.
Yeah. Are they even going to make the tourney? I don't
USC,
even know.
Probably. I don't know.
I don't even think USC is going to make the tourney, to be honest with you. Not their men's team. But, girl, Juju, for the women.
Yeah, they won their championship.
They won their conference championship. They're going to be just fine.
No, USC is 9th in Pac-12.
Yeah, I don't think they're even. I can't. I'm with you, Stu. I can't name 3 players either outside of Bronny. I can't name one other player outside of Bronny. I can't even name the guys that played Michigan basketball. Let alone, Hunter Dickinson. He plays for Kansas now. I can name him. I don't know who else there is. Yeah, USC did win without Juju because Juju had an off night last night, and they still got it. They still got it done.
USC is 14-17.
Yeah, they're not making the tournament.
They're not making nobody.
They're not even making the NIT.
Yeah, that's the only male athlete I know of in men's basketball.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know any college players right now. I'm looking forward to the women's tournament.
All right. Well, let's keep the women's going. Look at us. Look at us doing women's basketball for the last 12, 15 minutes. Look at us. We had this was their conference tournament weekend, conference championship weekend. Like I said, Juju and USC won their Pac-12. We got the flamethrower of the Iowa Hawkeyes. They won the Big 10 tournament. And then they were fireworks in the SEC championship. I would tell you, just like I told Joe, I was just scrolling. I didn't even know these games were on. I was scrolling. ESPN said, look at Angel Reese and old girl going at it. I'm like, it's all right now. You know what? I'm going to watch this. They keep telling me to watch it. I'm going to watch it. I cut it on. I never cut it off. It was good. It was good. I enjoyed every second of it. I enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed everybody getting kicked out. I enjoyed the end. I enjoyed it. This was I didn't get a chance to see the Big Ten tournament champion, but I did watch that game and some of the USC game, the first half of the USC game, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, same here. The Final Four is actually in Cleveland this year. Shout out to my city. Women's College Final Four will be in Cleveland. Actually, might drive down, go check a game out. That might be a good idea. Stu's right. If the men win the Pac-12 tournament, they'll get into the tournament with an automatic berth. The odds of that happening are very slim, but we've seen things happen. Iowa ruined the Big Ten tournament. I don't know, man. Listen, I watched the Iowa game, and Caitlin Clark actually didn't play a great first half. She had like 30 in the second half, though. Nebraska played them tough, and that was a very good game. Nebraska actually, I think, upset them a few weeks ago. So it was a good game, great final, and Iowa pulled it out. Caitlin Clark made some big shots. And the thing I was trying to watch for was something we talked about last week with Stu when he brought it up was, does her game translate to the WNBA because she's a volume shooter?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I did notice, again, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns into things when she gets to the WNBA, is she can beat you off the dribble. And she did it yesterday. She got to the rim a couple times, and she's got a step back that's deadly. So even if you think you have her guarded, she looks like she can create space, a la, Steph Curry. So that'll be interesting to see. But overall, that was a good game. And like you said, man, that LSU South Carolina game, man, okay, like man, okay. I mean, Juju, and then Juju didn't play well in the USC game, but they balled out still and got the dub. That LSU South Carolina game, I would love to see round 3 of that game. I saw round 1 in LSU when they played them about a month or so ago. I saw that game down at Baton Rouge, and it was a game then. So all the trash talking that be going on was interesting. But yesterday's game,
they was talking mad trash.
And it's funny because the head coach of LSU said in her press conference, she goes, "Do you know that there was only one foul called on each team in that entire game up until the fourth quarter? And now you wonder why things got out of hand because you texted and said like, hey man, they got the whistle in their mouth and this is catching up."
Yeah.
So
no wonder it blew up. They wasn't calling no fouls. No, nothing. Them girls were going hard in the paint, getting flipped over, hitting the deck. I mean, even this picture right here, they ain't called no foul. Like, you're not supposed to lean over with the hands up, but she was doing that the whole game. Yep. They weren't calling nothing. I was like, is this women's basketball? Like, because this is my introduction. I didn't know. I was like, they just let stuff go, huh? Yep. You fall on the ground, that ain't an automatic foul. You go up, you get hit, that ain't an automatic foul. They don't slow this game down with free throws at all. Like, it's just bang. It's just running and trying to get a layup and trying to get a wide open 3. Pick and roll basketball, but it was no fouls called. And they was talking mad junk the whole time. And I was like, something's got to happen. So but I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that to happen. Old girl was doing too much, pushing her down to the ground like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that to happen at all. Yeah, okay.
They charged her brother with like
aggravated assault and aggravated battery and and like he got 2 charges for sure. Like, they don't play about that coming onto the floor. Sir, you cannot come out the first row, jump over the scorer's table by pushing yourself off of another employee to get onto the floor, to then barely touch the player. He did touch her. He didn't do anything to her, but his hand, you can see in the video, you can see his hands kind of on her back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw another meme on Instagram where somebody was like, my man realized how big she was once he got to the floor and changed his mind.
So he looked big coming off that scores table, and then he just kept going lower and she kept getting higher.
Oh, man. That is hilarious. So the funny part is, you said what?
I said, that's a big woman.
Yeah, that's a real big woman. Yeah, he saw Cardoso and said, nope. But yeah, my man came out the woodwork. And my man in the red, the brother, was right behind him. But the police stopped him.
Yeah. And I knew once the refs were taking so long, I was like, yeah, they kicking everybody out. Because I think coming, like, standing up off the bench is one thing. But I think once you get past a certain point, once you walk off the bench, then that's considered coming off the bench. Like, once you walk past the last seat or something like that on the bench, then you're eligible to get suspended.
Yeah, apparently, because when I looked at the video, you can see that they actually didn't make it as far as I thought they did when they were talking about that. But when you look at the video, yeah, I think you can see that if you get to a certain distance, there must be the penalty of that once, because they reviewed the video forever, right? So yeah, that must be
everybody gone. Everybody on LSU gone. Everybody but the one girl, she got all the way to that last chair and stopped. And it went back. I was like, man, she made it by this much. Yeah. And I was like, they kick everybody out, and then you kicked out old girl who started the fight. They only gonna have 4 players. But then they had one girl at the scorer's table ready to check in. So they said she didn't count, so she got a chance to play.
So a total of 6 players remain, I think, for South Carolina.
Yeah.
And 5 remain for LSU.
For the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, Cardozo's suspended for a game, and then everybody else is returning to the first round.
Because when they were saying it on TV, they first said it like everybody can't play in the next game. I was like, dang. And then after a couple minutes, they was like, all right, correction. You can't get suspended for leaving the bench. Like, you can't get suspended. If that was your reason why you got kicked out, the person who got kicked out for fighting is the person who can't come back in the next game. So basically just her.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, y'all head and shoulders better than whoever y'all get as a 16, 15 seed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But going 5 deep the whole game is tough.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like, if they had to go 5 deep for a game, that would have been tough. But yeah, listen, South Carolina does not have a depth issue. They've got players for days on that team. So missing Cardoso for the first round against a 16 seed should result in them winning by 30 instead of by 50. It'll be a major upset if this South Carolina team loses in any of the early rounds. This team is loaded. They've got star power. They've got somebody at every position. They've got a shooter in Paw. They've got it. This team's 100% loaded top to bottom. And Stu, great point about the LSU South Carolina rivalry. You're right. You can't bully the bully. And that's the difference is LSU bullies everybody. Angel Reese bullies people. She talking that talk. But as the game went on, she got quieter and quieter because you can talk all you want to, but Cardoso ain't having it. And it's some players on that South Carolina team. And the head coaches at one point in time was a bully too. So you ain't going to do that to them.
That power dribble didn't move her at all. No. She kept trying to do it like, boom. Yeah, that's a wall.
Yeah.
You just inching yourself underneath it more and more so you can't get a shot. But she used to boom and somebody moving out the way. No, that girl stayed right on her hip.
Yeah.
That power dribble didn't do nothing.
Yeah, she giving up height and thickness when it comes to trying to put her on the box.
Yeah, I didn't know she couldn't shoot. I thought she was just cold. They said she was 1 for 8 the whole season from 3-point. I was like, come on, Angel. I thought you could shoot.
Oh, no, she's not a shooter like that. Neither is Cardoso, to be honest with you. Cardoso's game-winning three-pointer the night before was the first 3 she's made all season.
Angel Reese better learn how to shoot. She need to get up out that paint. She need to take that girl up out that paint for them to win. So I guess we're gonna have a women's bracketology.
We should.
Okay. We're gonna do women's brackets here on the next episode. So by the next episode, will they have a bracket ready?
They should. So the Big 12's championship wraps up I think tomorrow night. I think their tournament wraps up today and tomorrow, and then there should be brackets coming out here pretty soon. I expect that. I think the women's tournament, if I'm not mistaken, begins on Sunday. But I mean, Stu will probably tell me faster than I can look it up.
Stu, who you putting your money on? Who's your dark horse? Selection Sunday at 8.
Yeah, Selection Sunday is 5 days from now. 5 days, 22 hours, 28 minutes is Selection Sunday. So women's basketball, D1.
All right, so we should have a bracket by next week.
Yep.
Live bracket filling out. Here we go. Let me learn some of these women. I know a handful. I know Angel Reese. I know Flau'jae Johnson. I know Caitlin Clark. I know Paige Beckers. I know Juju. I don't know her last name.
USC.
I know girl Kyrie. I don't know her name. From South Carolina.
Oh, yep. I can't pronounce her name.
So I know some, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you're right, Stu. Don't sleep on Stanford. Don't sleep on Stanford. USC is dangerous. USC is definitely coming on strong. That was huge for them to win that tourney. And then Cameron Brink, she plays for Stanford. So, yeah, don't sleep on Stanford either. They're real.
Man.
They're real.
All right, that was a hot 25 on girls basketball. We good?
There we go.
Good for us. Appreciate it. All right, let's go to NFL free agency. First, let's start off with our squads. So far, this is what I got on the Brownies so far, sir. How do you like the move so far?
I didn't know about this move. This is excellent. Thank you. I was so happy to hear this. I was wondering about keeping him around. 2 years, 23 mil. I like it. I like it. And I'm excited about the Jerry Jeudy trade. So this gets me more excited with the Zadarius Smith. Maintaining him in the fold is important. Let's keep as much of that defense together as we can. My prayer for my team this year is healthy. Cleveland! Thank you, Stu. He brought it out of me. I'm very happy. Big on the Jerry Jeudy pickup, especially for a 5th and a 6th. I'm excited about this because we needed a number 2. We've been experimenting with the Bell and Donovan Peoples-Jones, and we've had a couple of guys, that got hurt, and it's just been a kind of a revolving door at that position. I love this for us. 2 very good route runners now. Now, if I can just get my quarterback to play like the quarterback that he was in Houston before all the massage therapy appointments, if I could get him to be that guy before that drama broke out, if Nick can stay healthy, come back strong, I would like to see us do something at the running back position, even though I know we like the young fella, Jerome Ford. And my defense is my defense. I love those guys. I know that defense is going to be ready. But, I love it, man. We got Jeudy. You got Amari. Hopefully you got Chubb back with the young fella Ford getting another one. And then of Deshaun. Plus I got Njoku at the tight end position. And our offensive line is usually, pretty strong. Again, if we just stay healthy, man, it'd be great. Yes, Stu said I could play QB. Hell, I could too at this point. So, yeah, man. It's years of being great on paper. Can we get it? I mean, we won 12 games last year. We made the playoffs with Joe Flacco. So, hey, man, I feel like we can go up even higher now. So let's go. I love it.
All right. Health is what he asked for.
Health.
All right, and the Lions. So we just traded for the cornerback from Tampa Bay, Carlton Davis III. Gave away a third, got 2 6-round picks back for him. I think didn't he go here? Ain't he from Detroit? I think he's from Detroit.
Who, Carlton Davis III?
I think he is. Maybe. I don't know. I may be thinking about somebody else. I thought one of them Bucks corners was from Detroit.
Oh, that's my man. He went to Chip. That's man. Hold on. Keep going.
The other corner from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So I mean, give us some more depth at corner. Give us some more depth in the DB room. Kind of like I was telling you the other day. Like, man, we just need secondary help. Just need bodies. Kind of like how you were a couple years ago. Like you always say, like, hey, you can't have too many DBs.
Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy.
That's the Detroit guy.
Yep.
Can't have too many guys that can play corner. Can't have too many guys that can play safety.
That's right.
So giving up a third round, I think he was maybe first or second round talent, and getting rid of him for a third round pick is cool. Hopefully our GM can do something with those 6-round picks. Now I have the utmost gumption
in the front office.
I believe that he can do something with 6-round picks.
Talking front office.
We get another pass rusher, Marcus Davenport, former first-round draft pick from the Saints. He comes here on a 1-year deal, trying to revitalize his career. So maybe he can play for some money. So get him on a 1-year deal. I'm looking for like a bigger splash. I'm looking for like Eric Armstead, like somebody like that who's coming off the books from San Francisco. But I know the philosophy of this team, which is build through the draft and pig and plug veterans that can help in certain spaces. But sooner or later, you got to open up the checkbook. Okay. They paid for Glasgow, so we got one of our starting linemen back. We lost Jonah Johnson. I think he went to the Rams. So that's our starting guard. So you're going to have to make some moves. If you're going to pay somebody, pay an O-lineman, because you don't want to lose the ability for your play action in the run game. So I look forward to more smaller moves from the Lions. If they make a big move, I will be shocked. But I look forward to the small moves. Stu, we need Winfield Jr. Yeah, that ain't happening. All the juniors is locked up. Winfield Jr., Surtain Jr., Sante Samuel Jr., all the juniors ain't going nowhere. They daddies was good corners, so now they good corners.
Yeah, all corners, yeah. Good point, Deshaun. Yeah, Darshawn, yeah, O-line coach Callahan. I was very sad to hear that, but he went with his son, which I understood because his son's now the new coach in, I think, Tennessee.
Okay.
Our O-line coach is now down there with his son. I hated that. God. Okay. So you're looking for the splash. I'm looking for the basic. Like, let's keep smart deals being made. But I think it's time for a splash move. I agree with you with the Lions. It's time. It's like all this excitement. You guys did what you did last year. It's time. The next level is to see if your GM will open it up for a big guy, for a game changer, which is not what you guys do. Not what you've done historically. And it doesn't bode well for you considering the fact that you've gotten to where you've gotten using the way you've gotten there. So I don't know if they're going to actually go and open the checkbook, but we'll see.
Yeah. No, and especially knowing they got a lot of young guys coming up for a payday. Yep. You want to leave a lot of cushion so you can pay your pillars, right? You got to pay Panay. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if the Amon-Ra Brown deal is done, but he's getting $30 million a year. They're talking about. So Amon-Ra, Panay, guys like that, Jared Goff get paid. So the money's going to keep the core together, and then from there you just kind of build from the outside with certain veterans that you can plug in. So if we can get Gardner back on another 1-year deal, maybe he doesn't go back to the Eagles. I don't know. But, all right. So those are our teams.
Stu,
let's talk defense.
Yeah. So Stu said, where does Philly get all this money from?
I don't know. I mean, they just had two guys retire, so that's Cap.
Yep. 2 big guys off the books with Cap, and and DeAndre Swift's gone.
Yep.
So there are a bunch of moves being made.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk defense first. So defensively, these are the 3 big hitters on defense. Christian Wilkins left the Dolphins. They didn't even tag him. They just let him go, which was kind of crazy. 4 years, 110 to go to the Raiders. Raiders get a guy that can go with Max Crosby. It's 2 go-getters. And then Chiefs re-signed Chris Jones. 5 years, over $100 million. First 2 years guaranteed. So they keep their big 3 of Pat, Travis, and Chris together. So he's there. Per my source, might be his last contract.
Sounds like a last contract type of contract.
And then just happened probably about an hour ago, Brian Burns got traded to the Giants. They paid that man 5 years, $150 million, max 87. An edge rusher to go with Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence. So now that front line is ridiculous, but the rest of the team is trash. So I don't know what they're going to do with that. Any one of these stand out to you?
Yeah, so the one that really stands out is the Christian Watkins deal to me. Like, okay, Brian Burns, but yeah, the Giants are still the Giants. But this Christian Wilkins deal is interesting because So the thing that's been interesting about the Raiders is defensively, they've been a team that does make teams really work. Like it causes them a lot of trouble when you play them. They're just offensively challenged all the time. So I think it's going to be interesting now that you have this piece. Their defense is even scarier. Can they or will they be one of the teams that splashes with a QB in the draft? Because you also, if I'm not mistaken, just lost Josh Jacobs.
Yep.
He went to Green Bay, which I think is weird, which we'll probably talk about in a second. But so that'll be interesting to see how they kind of work their offense to match what they're doing defensively. But they just got better defensively for sure. I mean, we know what Chris Jones is to what he means to the Chiefs. First of all, way to bet on yourself, right? Like he held out, then he came back for an incentive-laden deal. Then you go out and be who you are, and you guys win another world championship, and hey, you get what you get, right? There you go. Yep. But yeah, the Raiders, interestingly enough, I think that defense is going to be interesting, but will they be able to score and will they be able to actually compete against teams and win a division with their offense?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, maybe division in mind, right? You stack up on defense because you do have to go against Kansas City twice. You got to go against the Chargers twice.
Yep.
So maybe you think defensively first, defensive-minded head coach. So maybe that money that they wanted to give to Josh Jacobs goes to Christian Wilkins and see what that defense does, and finally Max Crosby get some help on the front line. Next up, let's go to QBs. Mac Jones traded to the Jaguars. Baker Mayfield gets $100 million from the Buccaneers. Russell Wilson gets a veterans minimum deal, but he's still making $40 million from the Broncos.
The Broncos are paying him $38 to play for the Steelers.
Now he's with the Steelers. Another $100 million deal for that man, Kirk Cousins. Listen, me and my son threw passes today. I said, look at that. Look at that man right there. Okay? He's a mid-tier quarterback, and this is his third $100 million contract. However, the man knows great negotiation skills. I don't know.
He's got a great agent. Somebody knows something.
And we just talked about the Raiders. The Raiders pick up Gardner Minshew, travel, bridge quarterback, 2 years, $25 million. Any of those stick out to you?
So I think it's easy to kind of walk through all of these. Mac Jones traded to the Jaguars. All right. Mac Jones now begins his career as a backup because this is what happens. I said this to you the other day. This is what happens to every Alabama quarterback not named Jalen. And he played in Oklahoma before he came to the NFL. So Mac Jones to the Jaguars, he'll be back up there. The only way he'll see the field is if Trevor gets hurt. Who cares? The Raiders have signed Gardner Minshew for what? I mean, really? 2 years? Listen, I'll take 2 years, $25 million. Okay? I'll take
he didn't play bad when Anthony Richardson went down.
It's Gardner Minshew. Come on.
Maybe they're just looking for a bridge quarterback. Expect them to draft a quarterback.
Or go get Justin Fields.
Like Stu said, or get Justin Fields. Yeah. Here's the thing about Justin Fields, though. If you trade for Justin Fields, are you trading assets for Justin Fields for 1 year? Or are you going to give him money? Are you going to extend him?
Good point. Because he only has 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah. Like, are you going to extend him, or are you just giving away assets for a 1 year guy?
Good point. A 1 year guy that's unproven.
Yeah.
Good point. Very good point. I just hate that he's getting screwed because to me, I think Justin Fields is a good NFL quarterback. I think he got screwed in Chicago with a horrible offensive mind and setup and just really botched the workings of an NFL team. Yeah. But yes, still Gardner Minshew to the Raiders is still not – if I'm a Raiders fan, I'm not excited that my new starting quarterback is Gardner Minshew. Like, that's not good. The rush to Pittsburgh, for some reason, like, I hate it when any team in my division gets a good quarterback because we've already got especially the Steelers. I was really happy about Pickett. I was hoping they just stick with him because to me, that was. But I'm not. I don't know. I hope I don't eat these words in the NFL season. But I don't know. Russ to Pittsburgh doesn't really have the same fire as it did if he was coming out of Seattle. He just hasn't been that guy lately. Maybe he revives his career in that organization. The only quarterback on this screen that deserved what they got, I think, is Baker Mayfield. I mean, look, he went down there. He took the job.
Of course you would say that.
And then he took them to the playoffs, and they got a playoff win. So, I mean, in the NFL, that earns you a contract. So I like that. That's the only deal. And then, like you said, Kirk Cousins to Atlanta. This got Matt Ryan written all over it, but it's a poor man. It's a poor man's Matt Ryan. And
the dude's 36 and he got a 5-year contract.
It's a poor man's Matt Ryan, bro. Poor man's Matt Ryan.
He's not. His agent is top tier.
Yes. I have no idea how they pulled this off. So
he got away with so many guaranteed contracts in Minnesota. And now you come here on a torn Achilles and get another $100 million contract until you're 40.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, this is exactly what Fields needs. I agree. Like
there's nowhere for him to go, unfortunately. Unless you're Minnesota. I forgot where Minnesota's drafting. But unless that's the only team that sees that has an opening for a quarterback. But do you really trust?
New England needs a quarterback.
Yeah, see? Man, we just said the same thing. I think New England's going to draft a quarterback.
Me too. I think everybody left is going to draft a quarterback.
Yeah. I think New England likes who's going to fall down to them. Like, I don't understand. Like, the Saints, maybe, go compete there with Derek Carr.
Yeah, he's going to have to go compete. Justin Fields is going to have to go compete somewhere. If they trade him, it'll be even worse if they keep him as a second year, as a backup, and they don't trade him anywhere because nobody wants him.
Yeah.
Nobody wants him.
Just sitting there waiting for somebody to get injured.
Yeah. He's the number one pick. He can't, it's
Yeah, I don't know. But Kirk Cousins definitely has the best. I think the NFC South is horrible. And he has weapons. Hopefully they give Bijan the ball. Hopefully Kyle Pitts learns how to catch a ball. And let's see what this Drake London guy got.
Sir, I'm so happy that the coach from Atlanta got fired. I'm not even a Falcons fan. But
You're a Bijan Robinson owner.
Fantasy football drove me crazy with the fact that you had Bijan Robinson, who was on my fantasy team, and they never gave him the ball.
Never, bro. Never.
Like, where does that happen at?
Yeah. Never.
A guy that explosive never touches the football.
So, lastly on this, do you think Russ in Pittsburgh is going to work?
No.
With all you hear about the chirping how Russ is behind closed doors, with a Steelers team that always has expectations of going to the playoffs, and a leader like Mike Tomlin, what do you think this is going to do? Do you think this is going to work?
I don't think it's going to work, but not for those reasons. Hey, mama, not for those reasons. Because I wonder if the story about Russ is true in regards to him being a diva. Like, I wonder if that's bad spin, if that's negative spin, is that NFL spin, and I wonder if those things are true. And we're going to find out because they don't play that in Pittsburgh. Tomlin's not going to have it. So that locker room will eat that up. So I think we're going to find out if that's true. But I don't see it working just because, to me, he fit like – I felt like he fits more like – and I hate to say this, but he's kind of in the Kirk Cousins book for me. Like, go to New England, or he fit in Atlanta, or so. Like, go somewhere where it just feels like his type of quarterback would be.
But, you don't think the accountability of Mike Tomlin will help?
But is that his problem though? For real? That's the thing. Like, is that just a stigma put on him by Sean Payton? Because remember now, Sean Payton's the guy that can say this and it get put out there enough to where
he had that reputation in Seattle.
Oh, he did.
Beast Mode said it. Sherman said it. Like, this dude, Pete Carroll, coddled him. Like, we couldn't talk to the dude. He was untouchable.
Oh, damn.
Beast Mode was like, I've tried to reach out to the cat several times, and he had me on Do Not Disturb.
Oh,
he was untouchable. You couldn't get to him.
Oh,
so you got coddled by Pete Carroll, which alienated you to your teammates. Now you go to Denver, and the first thing your new coach said is he's too worried about kissing babies. Oh, damn it, I froze. I thought I was gonna go the whole episode.
So that's a good question. Oh, you're back. Wait, hold on.
Come on.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance. That's a good question. Now that you throw those statistics out there, that insider information, whether or not he will be present as the season comes to an end is a good question, because I don't think that Tomlin's going to deal with that. I think that Tomlin's going to get, and I don't think Tomlin's going to sugarcoat it either. Like, if it happens there and it ends up causing a rift, then I think what will end up happening is you'll see a line and you'll have an inference to what Tomlin thinks will be what is going on. And you'll know just based on what Tomlin says that it didn't work out. But I'm rooting for Kenny Pickett as a Browns fan. I'm just saying, I'm rooting for Kenny Pickett. What do you guys think? Y'all think he's going to make it in Pittsburgh? Or do you think that it's going to be the Kenny Pickett show, or maybe somebody else? Because they're going through the post Ben Roethlisberger syndrome there. Stu said Tomlin's not taking no pretty boy out of camp. I agree. And good point, Grizzly. It probably is his last chance. It probably is. Like, if this doesn't work, if somehow you can't rework his image or whatever the issue is, then this probably is his last chance. Or maybe not his last chance, but his last chance of having an opportunity to start. I can see him still being a backup, one of those journeymen who's been in the league long enough to now just go get a check and be a backup. You just play whenever somebody gets hurt. This might be his last chance to earn a starting position or starting job. So I think that'll be interesting. But yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to put up with it. I don't think they're going to allow for anything less than the standard that is the Pittsburgh Steelers and that organization when it comes to players and buying into their system and how they do things in Pittsburgh. What else has happened during free agency? Any other surprises out there? How's your team doing? Leave a comment in the chat. How's your team doing in free agency? You heard us. Listen, I love what Cleveland's doing. Dre likes the minor moves the Lions have made, but he wants a splash move. We'll have to see if that happens. There's always future beers starting in the CFL. The Steelers don't work out. I don't know if he'll end up that low, but yeah, it did work out for Flutie. Where would you like to see Justin Fields end up? Good point. Trading him, is it the issue that it's hard to trade him right now? Because by him being drafted where he's drafted, oftentimes there's a rule in regards to what has to be compensated for a guy. So I get the 1-year audition, but do you give up, a fifth and a sixth for a 1-year audition for an unproven commodity at quarterback? Because unfortunately he is unproven. I know we like to say that he's talented. And I think, when he's had a good opportunity, he's made the best of what he has. He's made some flashes, but in all honesty, it is what it is. And what sucks about it is you can't go by what potentially it is. This is a business, so they're gonna look at the film, and unfortunately, his film is mediocre at best right now. So, is there a team out there where you think he lands? Is there a trade that we don't see right now that could take place? I mean, he's back. There he is. Is there a trade right now that could take place? And where do you think that is? He'll sell tickets as a poor man's Lamar Jackson. Are you talking about Russ? You know about Russ? That's true. Yes, I like it. But is Chicago trading him to Minnesota? Probably not. You're not trading him within the division. In order for him to get to Minnesota, he's going to have to be traded. And via trading him, you would trade him in your division. That would be interesting because if you trade him in a division and then he becomes a stud, then the question becomes, what was wrong with y'all when y'all had him? He's talking about Fields being a poor man's Lamar Jackson. Dang. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool to see him with Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, but again, I just want him to get a chance. I can't believe I'm rooting for a kid who played for Ohio State, but I want him to get a chance because I think he got screwed. He got the raw end of the deal. He got Mitchell Trubisky in Chicago, and Mitchell Trubisky wasn't even good.
Mitchell Trubisky. All right, sorry about that. We good on the QBs?
I held it down.
Thank you. All right, next step. Let's go to the RBs. Tony Pollard signs with the Titans. Josh Jacobs signs with the Packers. Austin Eckler signs with the Commanders. And my man Saquon goes to the Eagles.
Woo-wee. Okay, let's start with the most perplexing news. I don't understand the Packers and Josh Jacobs. Aaron Jones, the oft-injured Aaron Jones, when healthy. Yes, I understand that. So maybe that's just solidifying that. But you just signed Aaron Jones to the big deal a few years ago when you didn't have to pay Aaron Rodgers his money. So I don't know. That one's just perplexing to me. The Tony Pollard to Titans, poor guy. That's where careers go to die right now. But there's nothing about that to me. Good job, Tony, for showing up as a number 2 guy behind Ezekiel, making Ezekiel, expendable, and then, still kind of doing your thing back there. But you were like a fantasy steal as a backup. Then you became a starter. It didn't seem like it was all that dominant.
Trash.
Yeah. So the Titans whoop-de-whoop. Eckler, I'm so happy about this because he didn't end up in Baltimore. So I'm very happy about that. He ended up in Washington, just right down the street. So super proud, super happy. Way to go. And he doesn't fit the Los Angeles Charger, new Jim Harbaugh, who's definitely going to run it between the tackles. He's not that guy.
He picked Gus Edwards. That's who they picked up.
Oh, the Chargers did?
Yeah.
So, okay. That makes more sense. I can see the Chargers drafting Blake Corum, to be honest with you. Saquon to the Eagles, my guy, this has dark horse written all over it, sir. This to me is going to be interesting because that offense, is interesting. Adding him to it, can he revive himself in the sense of be kind of that first couple years Saquon before he got hurt?
Yeah.
And really turn that offense back into something lethal. They've already got the receivers. They've already got the tight end. If he could be, 70% of what he used to be, that puts Philadelphia back in a really strong position. And yes, you guys have to deal with Mr. Swift twice a year, which is going to be interesting.
Yeah. DeAndre earned that contract because he had a great year with the Eagles. He didn't run in between the tackles here. Then he went to Philly and just learned how to run in between the tackles, which is perplexing. And so he earned that off that 1 year he did with Philly. So I don't care about DeAndre Swift, to be honest with you. They gonna kill him over there. They ain't got no line. The rookie just gonna keep dumping it down to him. He'll be hurt by week 4. All right. Eckler, his career.
Hey, DeAndre Swift went to Chicago for the money, sir.
For the money, for sure. For sure for the money. Eckler, his career is over. We'll never hear from him again. He's going to get hurt in Washington and then fade off into obscurity. His best years behind him. I'm sick of him always being number one fantasy target. Austin Eckler, he's going to run for 1,300 yards and catch 4,000 yards and have hope. And then the mother gets hurt every year. So I'm sick of Austin Eckler. Tony Pollard, why he signed with the Titans, they have a running back that runs just like you and Tajay Spears, and he's younger and cheaper. So why they got the same running back twice, I don't know. So I don't understand that one. Josh Jacobs. Now, here's the thing. Josh Jacobs, he's a rushing leader. They did feed him the ball in the Raiders a lot. He would be a safety valve for a guy like Jordan Love if you just want to lean on the running game. I liked Aaron Jones when he was healthy. He was a decent back. He was explosive. He ran in between the tackles and outside the tackles very well. Now, if you're going to change your offense with Josh Jacobs to be a run-heavy team, I can see that. Mm-hmm. But I don't see why you had to pay him when you already had a back that worked. So we'll see how that goes. Unless you're changing your offense to make a cowbell running back, like you need a guy to run the ball 25 times a game, then okay. But Aaron Jones worked well for that team, and I don't see why you would move on from him.
You can't move on from him though. You just paid him.
Yeah. Oh, they cut him. It's already. I mean, he's already cut.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they cut him. So it's him and AJ Dillon. And then Barkley, we just haven't seen healthy Saquon in what, 4 years, 3 years? He had a great explosive rookie year, and ever since then he's missed multiple games a year. 900-yard rusher last year, 1,200-yard rusher the year before to get them to the playoffs. The RPO with him and Hurts could be beautiful. That could be beautiful. Then you got a great locker room guy. Saquon's a good person, good leader. Yep. You heard mumblings about how that locker room has been operating from the head coach down.
Yep.
So you add a great positive guy to that locker room. He can help this team a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, losing Kelsey hurts because one of your best run blocking centers in the league. So if they can replace that and help the guy out, I don't see why this signing doesn't work as long as Saquon's on the field. Let's see. Jacobs is a smart move to take the pressure off of Love, and he's younger than Jones. Yeah, I mean, if you change the offense and make him a focal point, sure. To me, you had all these years. Like, this is the same front office, right? Same front office as Aaron Rodgers. You had all these years to buy Aaron Rodgers' help, and you wait till he leaves to buy a running back. I don't know. It's just weird to me. You got a bunch of young receivers that you're trying to build through the draft. You got a bunch of young guys on defense, and you got a young quarterback. And then you go buy a $30 million a year running back. Sounds to me like you got to change your offensive scheme, but I don't see your head coach changing his offensive scheme. So you paid a guy $30 million a year so he can run the ball 15, 12 times a game like Aaron Jones did? I don't see it. I would just stick with the guy you had, unless you do plan on making him a cowbell.
Yeah, like they love play action, but why not just play action with Aaron Jones?
Why not just play action with Aaron Jones?
I don't understand.
You already paid him.
Because if they cut him, then that's a cap hit for sure.
Stu, do you have is there a big gap for you? Because to me, it's not really a huge gap there talent-wise between Aaron Jones and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs was just used more in So he got more carries. So he got more opportunities to rush the ball. I don't know. So Saquon and Eagles. Does he help this team? Day one?
I'm a yes on that. If he's and that the thing about it, like you said, is the injury, right? Like injury prone. If the guy can stay healthy, I mean, he was having a good year this year too. And then he had the ankle. So if he can stay healthy, then that it becomes really interesting. To me, that's the dark horse of all this. Like if this guy stays healthy and they have an RPO set up, and they probably could stand to maybe be a little more of a downhill team sometimes. Oh my! And he can catch the ball at the backfield. Man, they just become really interesting on offense. I mean, like you said, shoring up the offensive line's got to be the thing, right? I think they still have Lance Johnson, I believe. And then you got to replace Kelsey, but man, that's really interesting.
Like Philly can beat the 49ers offensively if they wanted to.
Yeah.
They got two great receivers. They got a decent tight end. They got a great line. And now you add a guy that could be all pro at running back with a guy that's already a Pro Bowler at quarterback. Well, if you get this thing going the right way, coaching wise, which has showed its ugly head last season, I mean, he can do everything Swift do better. He can catch the ball out the backfield, like you said, and he's more of a power runner inside. This team could be ridiculous. And remember in the beginning of last season, they were coasting. They were beating teams. It just didn't look right. Everybody kept saying something's wrong here. It just don't look right. Yeah. Which ended up showing this ugly head towards the second half of the season. But they were still whooping up on guys in the first half of the season with the talent that they had. I think A.J. Brown is starting to be a problem. But I don't see them dealing him just because he's a jerk.
So that's a good observation, right? Like, so Tennessee deals them, and we're all shocked by it, right? It's like, why would you do that? And then you start to see they have success in Philly, and then now this year something happens, and you've been saying this about A.J. Brown for a minute. Something's going on in that locker room, and maybe it gets corrected now. I don't know, because the season's over and everybody got a chance to just get away from each other and reset. But whatever it was, it's got to get fixed. And last year, the second half of the season, after getting stomped on by San Francisco at home, the wheels came off, and it screamed something in the locker room. There was something wrong. And, it's interesting. Was it – and I'm not trying to, like, start a fire when there probably maybe isn't one here. Was it DeAndre Swift? Is he the reason? Is that the reason why he's now leaving and going elsewhere, or is it just him getting his money? I mean,
I don't think he has a big enough personality in that locker room to hold weight like that.
I mean, Kelsey was really quick to call it quits. Like Kelsey retired at the end of that game. He didn't even wait until there was absolutely zero chance. You could tell by the way he had the look on his face. I don't think he'll ever come out.
Fun. That year was not fun in the locker room.
Fun. Yeah. Something happened in the locker room. I don't think he'll ever come out and say it because they'll protect each other until all those guys are out of the league, and then they'll talk about it. But something to me was happening in that locker room.
I think there's a contingency of guys who rock with AJ, and there's probably a contingency of guys on the offense that rock with Hurts. And Hurts is not a guy that rocks the boat. You want to yell and scream at me on the sideline, I don't really care because this is how I am the whole time. You want to be a diva and lash out because I missed a couple balls, go ahead. But I ain't never going to call you out. But you steady being bodacious on the sideline because you think you should get the ball. Does it scream T.O.? Does it scream Moss? It's getting there. It's getting there. But you also don't hear Devonta going off either. So I don't know. It just to me, like you said, Kelsey didn't look like he was having fun that year. Looked like it was a lot of drama. Sirianni didn't nip it in the bud. And the play calling was horrible. It was a lot of things internally that was wrong with that team. So if they fix the internal stuff, they got hella talent on the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, with Fletcher Cox retiring, you would think that would be a huge thing. But they've been drafting on that defensive line for so long that they shouldn't really feel that.
Yep.
So Philly's a scary team if they want to be. All right. So Eckler got signed. So where you see Derrick Henry going? Call it. Let me look it up as I ask you.
I see Derrick Henry going west to the Oakland Raiders, to the Las Vegas Raiders.
Derrick Henry to the Raiders. All right. I mean, same kind of runner, right?
Yep.
Let's see if there's any Henry news. No Ravens talk.
I hate it. He just doesn't fit to me, though. I hate it because it's the Ravens, but that doesn't make sense to me. They're definitely not a downhill team. They're not a play action team. That offense is built for Lamar as a runner. They would give it to Gus, and I feel like it was just a keep it honest type of give it to Gus. It wasn't like we're not coming in this game and giving the Gus the ball 20 to 25 times. That's just not how they're built. And I think we talked about this. Henry needs the ball 20 to 25 times to really be that guy. So yeah, it doesn't fit to me. That if they did that, I could hear them now saying, "Oh, we're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work. Oh, we're gonna just." It just doesn't fit their style. Like to me, I felt like Chargers or Raiders because of what type of offense those folks want to run, and those are both teams that want to run the ball downhill every play action type of approach.
What about him and Pollard switching spots and him going to the Cowboys?
He helps Dak. Again, that offense, that's another offense. They want to score 30 a game. That you're not giving your running back the ball 20, 25 times if you want to score 30 a game. They want to throw it to CD. They want to push it down the field. They want to prove to you that Dak is a franchise guy. Dak deserves his money. I don't know. It doesn't feel like that makes a lot of sense to me. Still makes a sense for me that Derrick Henry ends up somewhere that they want to run the ball downhill. They want to control the line of scrimmage, and they're gonna 60-40 run it.
Is he a Jim Harbaugh kind of guy?
I feel like he's a Jim Harbaugh kind of guy. I mean, if you got Gus Edwards out there already, I can see him going after Henry as well. Like I said, I also wouldn't be surprised if they draft Laquan.
All right. So, yeah, and then there were little smaller moves made around the league. Your guy, Bakhtiari, got cut too. So, looked like
can't stay healthy.
He might go to the Jets and help your other boy.
They
talked about that all last year.
Yeah, can't stay healthy, though. Like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, hey, you my boy, but I don't know if I'm going to keep putting my name out there for you. You can't stay healthy. He's been a really good left tackle that when he plays, he's good, and when he doesn't, he's not, and because he's not playing, and that's oftentimes the case.
All right. Any other? I think that is all it for the big splash moves. So next week we'll be waiting to see where Derrick Henry goes. See if Justin Fields gets traded. I think those are the big names. And then after that, we got some smaller names. Well, not smaller. Eric Armstead is probably going to get released because he won't restructure his contract. So that'll be a big defensive piece out there. See where he goes. Hopefully the Lions. Bobby Wags is out there. Maybe an aging linebacker. Lions. I don't know. But there's some pieces to talk about next week as well. And then women's bracketology next week as well. Let's get into that. Any other news and notes for you, brother?
Don't the men start next week too? Because this is championship week this week for the men's tourneys. So isn't it Selection Sunday for both tournaments? Let me see.
I don't know if we care. Do we care? I don't know none of these dudes.
Yeah, so Selection Sunday, I think, is for the men's is also this week. Yeah, Selection Sunday is Sunday. First four is the 19th and 20th. Yeah, so men's is this week. And then I think we already determined women's, right? Is there
Sunday?
Is there's let me see. Let me just confirm. Women's basketball tournament begins. Yep. So let's see. The schedule for women's basketball tournament for March Madness, which begins with selections for the women's tournament Sunday, March 17th. Selection Sunday, 8 o'clock. First four is March 20th. First round is March 22nd, 23rd. Is that like the same as it? That's weird. Is that the same as the men's? I thought they usually run them. I knew they ran them. I didn't know they ran them together like that. I thought they used to kind of separate them a little bit.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe next week we'll talk some NBA basketball.
Yeah, maybe.
Man, Pat got hurt. Do we care? Is Minnesota really a title contender? We'll break that all down on the next Academy Sports Show. All right. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, everything Academy Sports Show, man. Appreciate y'all as always. If you're not on the YouTube, please get to the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you trigger that bell. That way you get a notification every time we go live. That way, whether it be a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 7, 6, 7, 9, whatever o'clock, you get the notification that we are going live. We appreciate everybody joining us in the chat. NBA feels like, nope, not saying that. And thank you for everybody who participated. Make sure if you got a meme or a trivia question, send it to us directly. We'll put it on the show. On behalf of myself, Andre Douglas, Joel Williams.
And enjoy Selection Sunday for the women this week. Check out as much women's basketball as you can. Go back and watch some highlights so you'll be prepared for the bracketology next week. See you then.
Adios.